Rain soaked my jacket as I parked the bike. Last delivery, I muttered. My phone buzzed. Then buzzed again. Then wouldn't stop. I ignored it and grabbed the pizza. The building rose above me, glass and steel, too clean for the storm. The address felt expensive. I wiped rain from my face and stepped inside. The elevator mirrored my reflection. Wet hair. Red delivery bag. Tired eyes. Just drop it and go, I whispered. My phone vibrated again. I glanced down. Emergency threat. System breach confirmed. This can't be real. My breath caught. I knew that name. Everyone did. The elevator dinged. The door to the penthouse was already open. Screens glowed inside, flickering like they were dying. I stepped in slowly. Hello, I said. A man stood in the middle of the room. His sleeves were rolled up. His hands were shaking. His eyes were locked on the screens. No, he said. No. Pizza delivery, I said quietly. He turned. His face was pale. Not angry. Not proud. Just scared. Put it anywhere, he said. I set the pizza down. My eyes drifted back to the screens. Code scrolled fast. Error messages stacked. Alerts screamed in red. This isn't right, I said without thinking. He snapped his head toward me. What? I swallowed. I mean, it looks deliberate. He laughed once. Sure. Broken. Deliberate? This is a wipeout. My phone buzzed again. I didn't look this time. He dragged a hand down his face. They're inside everything, he said. Servers. Backups. Legal wallets. That's not random, I said. He stared at me. You code. I shook my head fast. No. Just forums. Reading. Silence stretched. Alarms kept ringing. One screen went black. Payment didn't go through, I said softly. He didn't answer. Another alarm. Louder. I should go, I said. I didn't move. He sank into a chair. I built this for 10 years, he said. 10. I felt something twist in my chest. Someone wanted it gone, I said. He looked up slowly. You think I don't know that? I met his eyes. This feels planned. My phone vibrated hard. I finally looked. He's finished. Empire collapsing live. This is historic. I locked the screen. You should call someone, I said. I did, he said. Nobody's answering. Another screen flashed red. Who had access? I asked. He hesitated. Too many. Who benefited? I asked. He stared at the floor. That's what I thought, I said. He looked up sharply. You're a pizza girl? I'm observant, I said. He let out a hollow breath. They'll blame me. They already are, I said. He laughed again, weaker this time. What's your name? He asked. I hesitated. I don't give that out. Smart, he said. I wish I had been. The alarm stopped. The silence was worse. One final message appeared on the largest screen. Ownership transferred. His mouth opened. No sound came out. I stepped closer without thinking. That transfer shouldn't exist, I said. He looked at me like I'd slapped him. How would you know? Because it violates the chain, I said. It's dirty. He stood up fast. You said you don't code. I said I read, I said. He stared at me. Can you help? The question hung between us. I should have said no. I can look, I said instead. He nodded too fast. Please. I set my bag down. Just don't touch anything, I said. Let me see. I leaned toward the screen. My heart raced. Patterns jumped out immediately. This is staged, I whispered. What? He said. They left noise, I said. Real hackers don't. He grabbed the desk. Can you stop it? Not fully, I said. But I can slow it. Do it, he said. I hesitated. If I do this, it traces. I don't care, he said. I'm already ruined. I took a breath. Okay. My fingers moved. Messages popped up. New errors. Then pauses. He leaned in. It's working. Temporary, I said. But enough to see. I opened a hidden log. There, I said. That's signature. He frowned. That's internal. Yes, I said. That's betrayal. His face changed. Who? He asked. I shook my head. You already know. His jaw tightened. You should document everything, I said. Before it's gone. I will, he said. I swear. I stepped back. You shouldn't be here, he said suddenly. I know, I said. But you stayed, he said. I picked up my bag. Be careful who you thank, I said. He looked at me like he wanted to say more. I walked to the door. Behind me, a final alert sounded. Rollback denied. I froze. I didn't turn around. That night, I walked into the rain thinking I had helped someone survive. I didn't know I had just stepped into the center of a lie that would burn my life down next. I didn't sleep. My phone kept buzzing on the nightstand like it was alive. I stared at the ceiling and replayed the penthouse again and again. The screens. The fear. The way my hands moved without permission. At 4:12 a.m. my phone rang. I answered without checking the name. "It's worse," he said. I sat up. "How?" "They're calling it an inside failure," he said. "They're saying I lost control." "That's not true," I said. "I know," he said. "But I need proof." I closed my eyes. "I told you to document everything." "I did," he said quickly. "But the logs, they're incomplete." I swallowed. "They were cleaned." "Yes," he said. "By someone who knows how I think." Silence stretched. "Can you look again?" he asked. I hesitated. "You said this was temporary." "I know," he said. "Just one more thing." "One more thing turns into 10, I said. "I'll protect you," he said. I laughed softly. "You can't even protect yourself." Another pause. "Please," he said. I stood up. The room felt smaller. "Send me access," I said. "Thank you," he said too fast. I hung up before I could change my mind. I opened my laptop. My fingers hovered. "This is stupid," I told myself. The access link arrived. I clicked it. The system felt familiar, like a song I didn't remember learning. I moved carefully. I followed the noise backward. "Found you," I whispered. I saw the pattern immediately. The attack wasn't meant to steal. It was meant to shift blame. I called him. "They framed the collapse," I said. "I knew it," he said. "They rerouted ownership after the panic," I said. "Clean transfer." Quiet. "Can you reverse it?" he asked. "No," I said. "But I can prove intent." "How?" he asked. "By showing who benefits," I said. I shared my screen. "See this?" I said. "That's not random traffic. That's my partner's signature," he said. "Yes," I said. "And this delay here? That's deliberate hesitation." He exhaled hard. "So he waited." "Yes," I said. "Until it hurt." "You're saving me," he said. I didn't answer. I packaged the evidence. I labeled it clearly. "Send this to your legal team," I said. "Immediately." "I will," he said. "I swear." I closed my laptop. "Don't mention me," I said. "Of course," he said. "You're invisible." That word stuck. I slept for 2 hours. When I woke up, my phone was on fire. Messages stacked. Missed calls. Unknown numbers. I opened a notification. Anonymous source assists recovery. I frowned. Another alert. Insider help stops total collapse. My name appeared in the replies. I froze. I opened the thread. "Isn't that the pizza girl? Who is she? Looks suspicious." My chest tightened. I called him. He didn't answer. I called again. Voicemail. I opened my email. My account access was suspended. A message popped up. Unusual activity detected. I refreshed my bank app. Frozen. I sat on the edge of the bed. "This is wrong," I whispered. My phone rang. Unknown number. "Is this you?" a voice asked. "Who is this?" I said. "Media," the voice said. "We're confirming involvement." "I didn't authorize anything," I said. "So you admit involvement," the voice said. "No," I said. "I helped privately." "That's involvement," the voice said. The call ended. Another call came in. "You leaked proprietary systems," a voice said. "I didn't leak anything," I said. "You accessed without clearance," the voice said. "I was invited," I said. "By whom?" the voice asked. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. The line went dead. I opened my messages. Friends were quiet. One replied. "Why would you do this?" I typed. "Do what?" No answer. I checked social media. My face was everywhere. A blurry photo from the building lobby. A caption under it. "The real cause." I felt sick. I called him again. This time he answered. "They're blaming me," I said. "I know," he said. "You promised," I said. "I didn't expect this," he said. "My accounts are frozen," I said. "My job locked me out." "I'm fixing it," he said. "When?" I asked. "Soon," he said. I laughed. "That's what you said last night." Silence. You used my work, I said. I credited anonymous help, he said. You let them name me, I said. I couldn't stop it, he said. You didn't try, I said. I was under pressure, he said. So was I said. Another voice joined the call. Who's that? I asked. Legal, he said. The new voice spoke. We advise you stop contacting our client. My client? I said. You exposed sensitive systems, the voice said. I protected them, I said. That's your claim, the voice said. The call ended. I stared at my phone. My delivery app logged me out. Contract terminated. I walked outside. The city looked the same. I walked past a cafe where I used to wait between orders. A barista looked away. I kept walking. My phone buzzed again. A message from him. I'm sorry. That was it. 2 words. I stopped under a streetlight. I believed you, I said out loud. Rain started again. I opened my phone and typed. Tell them the truth. No reply. I waited. Nothing. I looked at my reflection in the dark glass. Wet hair. Empty hands. I understood then. This wasn't an accident. This was a choice. I walked home slowly. Each step felt heavier. By the time I reached my door, something inside me was gone. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I set my phone down and let the silence settle. In that silence, my old self ended. And somewhere far above, someone else stood in the light I had built, wearing my work like it was always theirs. I stopped delivering pizzas. The app stayed on my phone, but I didn't open it. The helmet sat by the door like it belonged to someone else. My phone rang. I watched it ring. Then stop. Then ring again. I let it die in my hand. My room felt smaller than before. The walls pressed in. The window stayed closed even when the sun tried to get through. I sat on the bed and stared at the floor. Get up, I told myself. I didn't move. Another call came in. I flipped the phone face down. Silence followed, thick and heavy. I opened my laptop. My name was already trending. Not praise. Questions. Accusations. Why was she there? How did she access that system? Convenient timing. I closed the screen. Food sat untouched on the desk. I took one bite and pushed it away. Too dry, I whispered. Everything tasted like dust. My phone buzzed with a message. You okay? I stared at it. I typed. No. I waited. 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. I laughed softly. So that's it, I said. I lay back and stared at the ceiling again. Every second replayed. The penthouse. The screens. The trust. The promise. You'll be invisible, he had said. Invisible burned. I checked the news again even though I didn't want to. His face filled the screen. Calm. Confident. We identified the breach and stabilized the system, he said. A reporter asked, with outside help? He smiled slightly. Anonymous sources, he said. My stomach twisted. Another reporter asked, any internal responsibility? We're reviewing, he said. Reviewing. I shut the laptop. My phone rang again. I answered without thinking. Why aren't you defending yourself? A voice asked. Who is this? I said. You need to speak, the voice said. This looks bad. I didn't do anything wrong, I said. Then say that, the voice said. No one listens, I said. That's not true, the voice said. I laughed. They already decided. Silence. You helped him, the voice said. Now he's fine. And I'm not, I said. The call ended. I slid the phone away. My chest felt tight. I opened my messages. A friend finally replied. You should have stayed out of it. I typed back. I was trying to help. The reply came fast. That's what you say. I stared at the words until they blurred. I trusted you, I whispered. I didn't know who I was talking to. I scrolled again. She wanted attention. She crossed a line. She played hero. My hands shook. Stop, I said out loud. I shut everything down. The quiet was worse. I sat there for hours. Or minutes. I couldn't tell. My phone buzzed once more. It was him. I didn't answer. A message appeared. This got out of control. I stared at it. I typed. You let it? Another message came. I'm fixing things. I typed again. For who? No reply. I waited. Nothing. I threw the phone onto the bed. It bounced once and stopped. I curled into myself. Rage came suddenly. Hot. Sure. I saved you, I said. I saved you. My voice cracked. And you watched me fall. The rage faded fast. Shame followed. I should have known, I whispered. I replayed every moment. I blamed my mouth for speaking, my hands for moving, my heart for caring. I'm stupid, I said. I pressed my face into the pillow. The tears came without sound. My chest shook. No noise escaped. I cried until my head hurt. When it stopped, I felt empty. I checked the time. Another day gone. My bank app still showed frozen. My email still showed restricted. My job still didn't exist. I opened the delivery app again. Account terminated. Permanent. I closed it. A knock sounded on the door. I froze. Another knock. I stood slowly and opened it a crack. A neighbor stood there holding a package. This was outside, she said. Your name's on it. Thanks, I said. She hesitated. You okay? I'm fine, I said. She nodded but didn't look convinced. I closed the door. The package was small. Inside was my old forum badge. Someone had mailed it back to me. A note sat on top. We had to remove you. No name. I dropped it on the desk. I sat on the floor. The room felt cold. I wrapped my arms around my knees. I don't exist anymore, I said. The words scared me. I looked at the mirror. I barely recognized the girl staring back. Eyes dull. Shoulders slumped. Who are you? I asked. She didn't answer. I lay on the floor and stared at the ceiling again. The truth settled in slowly. Nobody was coming. No apology would fix this. No explanation would save me. If I stayed here quiet and small, I would disappear. The thought scared me. Then something shifted. A different feeling stirred. Sure. Cold. Clear. I'm still here, I said. The words felt weak. I said them again. I'm still here. My hands stopped shaking. I sat up. I touched the bottom, I said. And I didn't die. That realization scared me more than the fall. Because if no one would save me, I would have to decide what came next. I picked up my phone. A final message waited from him. I hope you understand someday. I stared at it. My thumb hovered. Delete. The screen went blank. In the silence that followed, something inside my chest tightened into focus. And for the first time since everything broke, I didn't feel empty. I felt dangerous. The morning came quietly. No alarms. No messages. No accusations. Just light slipping through the curtain. I sat on the edge of the bed and listened to my own breathing. This is it, I said. No one answered. I stood up. The floor was cold under my feet. I liked that. It reminded me I was still real. I walked to the mirror. You don't beg, I told the girl staring back. She looked tired. Bruised in places no one could see. You don't explain, I said. My voice didn't shake. You don't chase justice loudly. I waited for the anger to rise. It didn't. Only calm. I nodded once. Good, I said. I sat at the desk and opened a notebook. An old one. Pages already filled with half-finished ideas. I turned to a clean page. Mistake 1. Trust without leverage. I wrote slowly. Rule 1. Never give value without protection. Mistake 2. Speaking before mapping the room. Rule 2. Listen twice. Speak once. Mistake 3. Believing silence meant safety. Rule 3. Silence is power only when chosen. I paused. That's enough for today, I said. My phone buzzed. I looked at it without picking it up. A message preview flashed. Any update? I flipped the phone face down. No, I said. There isn't. I opened my laptop. Not my old one. The spare. I created a new email. No name. No photo. No history. I hesitated at the username. Something forgettable, I whispered. I typed it. Account created. I logged into nothing familiar. I didn't miss it. I opened archived forum threads. Old ones. Buried ones. I read patterns instead of opinions. Who spoke when money was involved. Who stayed quiet when blame moved. Who survived scandals untouched. This isn't chaos, I said. It's structure. I wrote notes. Power moved through 3 things. Money. Fear. Timing. I studied all 3. I made a list of skills I needed. Legal language. Contract traps. Digital trails that didn't scream. Human weakness. I smiled at that one. You always forget that part, I said. I watched interviews. Not his. Others like him. The pauses mattered more than the words. I played one clip again. Say it slower, I murmured. I rewound. There it was. The lie hidden in confidence. I practiced spotting it. Hours passed. My stomach growled. I ignored it. A knock came at the door. I stiffened. Another knock. I opened it a crack. My neighbor stood there again. "You haven't been out," she said. "I'm fine," I said. She looked past me at the dark room. "You need anything?" she asked. "No," I said. She nodded. "Okay," she said. "Just checking." The door closed. I locked it. "Distractions," I said. "Dangerous." I ate standing up. Quickly. Food tasted better today. I washed the plate and put it away. I deleted my social accounts. One by one. No dramatic posts. No goodbyes. Just gone. I paused over the last one. "This is who they know," I said. Delete. The screen went blank. I exhaled. I created another profile somewhere else. No face. No voice. Just usefulness. I tested it. I answered one question. Carefully. Correctly. No praise followed. Good. I answered another. A message arrived. That was helpful. I didn't reply. I watched. I waited. My phone buzzed again. I picked it up. A call from an unknown number. I let it ring. Voicemail followed. "I know you're upset," a voice said. "But this is blowing over." I deleted it. Another message arrived. "You should talk." I typed nothing. I powered the phone off. Silence settled again. This time it felt chosen. I returned to the notebook. I drew lines between names. Who enabled? Who benefited? Who stayed clean? I circled one. "Not yet," I said. I researched quietly. Public records. Old contracts. Buried disputes. I found patterns. "This is where it breaks," I whispered. I saved nothing locally. Everything stayed temporary. I practiced patience. That was harder than learning code. Anger flared sometimes. I let it rise. Then I shaped it. "Fuel," I said. "Not fire." I replayed the apology message in my head. "I hope you understand someday." "I do," I said. "I understand exactly." I didn't hate him. That surprised me. I hated the imbalance. I hated how easy it was to erase someone. I hated how silence protected the wrong people. "I don't want revenge," I said slowly. The words felt true. "I want balance." I leaned back in the chair. The room looked the same. I didn't. I felt aligned. Like every piece had clicked into place without noise. I checked the time. Late afternoon. I opened one more document. A single line at the top. Objectives. I wrote 3. Restore truth. Remove leverage from liars. Never be visible too early. I stared at the list. Ambitious, I said. I smiled. My phone powered on by accident when I moved it. A notification flashed. Breaking, full recovery announced. I watched the clip without sound. His smile was back. Applause filled the room. I muted it. "That's fine," I said. "Enjoy it." I closed the laptop. I stood by the window. The city moved on. Cars. People. Noise. No one noticed me standing there. No one knew what I had decided. That felt right. I picked up the notebook and tore out the first page. The mistakes. I folded it carefully. I slid it into my pocket. "Reminder," I said. I turned off the light. As the room darkened, one thought stayed clear. The world believed I was finished. I wasn't. I was just quiet now. And quiet things, when they move, are the hardest to stop. I took my first job under a name that wasn't mine. The message was short. "Need help." Quiet. I replied with one line. "Rules first." A response came fast. "Name them." "No credit," I said aloud as I typed. "No screenshots. No mentions. Payment through escrow only." 3 dots appeared. Agreed. I didn't smile. I opened the files. The problem was simple. The damage wasn't. I fixed only what was necessary. No signature. No flourish. When I sent the final patch, a message popped up. "Who are you?" I stared at it. "Someone passing through," I typed. Payment arrived. I closed the account. The second job came 2 days later. Different name. Same fear. "This looks familiar," I whispered. The client called instead of typing. "I don't need a miracle," a woman said. "I just needed to stop bleeding." "I don't do miracles," I said. "I do limits." "That's enough," she said. I worked while she talked. "They blamed me," she said suddenly. I paused. "For what?" "For trusting the wrong person," she said. I didn't comment. "They smiled while it burned," she added. I fixed the breach. When I finished, she asked, "What do I owe you?" "Nothing extra," I said. She hesitated. "You could have charged more." "I know," I said. She went quiet. Thank you, she said. I ended the call. I wrote her name in my notebook. Not to expose. To remember. I met more people like her. Different cities. Same stories. They promised. They denied. They moved on. I listened more than I spoke. Fear had a sound. It rushed words. Guilt slowed them. Power never rushed. I built tools between jobs. Small ones. Things that erased trails instead of creating them. I tested them on myself first. Nothing stuck. Good. I started seeing patterns. Who hired quietly. Who paid quickly. Who asked too many questions. One man pushed. I want to know your background, he said. No, I said. That's not how this works, he said. It is with me, I said. Silence. Then the call ended. I smiled once. I watched the news again. His empire was back. Bigger. Louder. New interviews. New applause. A ring flashed on his hand in one clip. I paused it. That's new, I said. I zoomed in. A sponsor logo reflected faintly. I wrote it down. I didn't rush. I let the days stack. Proof aged better that way. I took a job that paid in pieces. Why the delay? The client asked. Trust builds slower than code, I said. He laughed nervously. I get that, he said. I finished early. I waited before sending it. Everything okay? He asked. Yes, I said. I'm watching. What? He said. I sent the file. Payment arrived immediately. I see why they recommend you, he said. Who? I asked. Silence. I closed the chat. I never asked for recommendations. They still happened. Quiet ones. A name passed in whispers. Not mine. The city changed seasons. I stayed small. One night, someone recognized me on a call. Wait, he said. Your voice. I froze. I've heard you before, he said. No, you haven't, I said. You helped during, he started. I cut the call. I shut the laptop. My hands stayed steady. That was close, I said. I burned that identity. Started another. I watched his empire expand into places it didn't understand. Fast growth left cracks. I saw them. A rushed partnership. A sloppy clause. A delayed disclosure. Greed, I whispered. I gathered documents without touching them. Public filings. Archived interviews. Old promises that didn't match new claims. I layered them carefully. No conclusions. Just facts. I met a lawyer online once. Not for advice. For observation. You're cautious, he said. I'm alive, I said. He chuckled. Who hurt you? He asked. I smiled. Enough people, I said. I left before curiosity turned sharp. I avoided praise. When someone thanked me too loudly, I disappeared. When someone asked for loyalty, I declined. I don't do sides, I said. What do you do? Someone asked once. I watch, I said. I watched supporters turn into enablers. I watched rivals wait. I watched silence protect lies. One night, I sat on the floor with my notebook open. Names connected like veins. This is fragile, I said. One wrong move would warn them. Timing mattered more than truth. I waited. My phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. I think you can help me. I replied. Explain. They're asking me to lie. I stared at the screen. Oh. I typed. A name appeared. My chest tightened. About what? I asked. Numbers, the message said. Just small ones. I leaned back. Here we go, I whispered. I typed slowly. What happens if you refuse? I lose everything, the message replied. I closed my eyes. This was the moment. Not exposure. Not revenge. Choice. I typed. Don't answer yet. 3 dots flickered. What? Because lies leave marks, I wrote. And marks become doors. Pause. What do? I stared at the city lights outside my window. Careful, I told myself. I typed the last message of the night. You wait. So do I. The reply came a few seconds later. Who are you? I looked at the notebook. At the names. At the cracks. I typed. Someone who sees clearly. I shut the laptop. The room was quiet. My heart was steady. Invisible power doesn't shout. It waits. And somewhere above me, an empire stood tall on lines it thought no one could see. I smiled softly. The cracks were ready. The leak went live at 6:03 a.m. No headline. No name. Just numbers. I watched the page refresh. Breathe, I told myself. My phone buzzed once. Have you seen this? I didn't reply. Another message followed. This is strange. I muted the thread. I opened the market tracker. Green turned pale. Pale turned unsure. Good, I whispered. I didn't smile. I opened a private stream where analysts talked too freely. Could be nothing, one said. It's not nothing, another replied. These figures don't match. I leaned back. A third voice joined. Someone's poking the foundation. Who? The first asked. Silence. I closed the stream. My hands were steady. A call came in through an encrypted line. You dropped this, a man said. I dropped nothing, I said. You always say that, he said. I don't speak in always, I said. He laughed quietly. Fair. What do you see? I asked. Hesitation, he said. Investors hate that. Anything else? I asked. Confidence cracking, he said. Just a hairline. That's enough, I said. Are you enjoying this? He asked. I paused. No. He didn't push. I ended the call. Another message arrived from the source who had hesitated earlier. They're asking questions. Answer none, I typed. They're nervous, the source replied. Let them be, I typed. I closed the chat. I watched an interview go live. His face was calm. His voice smooth. There's no issue, he said. We welcome transparency. I tilted my head. Say it again, I whispered. He did. The same words. Too rehearsed. A reporter leaned in. Then you won't mind releasing the internal breakdown? He smiled. We'll review that. Review. The word landed heavy. I opened my notebook and drew a small line next to his name. 1 mark. Not enough. I opened another channel. Supporters talked louder than usual. This is fake, one said. Someone's jealous, another added. A third hesitated. But the math. Stop, the first snapped. I closed it. Rivals stayed quiet. That mattered more. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. I answered. You're stirring things, a woman said. I'm observing, I said. You think you're invisible, she said. I am, I said. Pause. You always are until you aren't, she said. True, I said. She exhaled. This spooked the board. Good, I said. She laughed once. You don't sound angry. I'm not, I said. What do you want? She asked. Accuracy, I said. The line went dead. I watched the market dip again. Not crash. Dip. I stood up and stretched. My reflection looked calm. That's new, I said. Another message arrived from a different client. They delayed my payment. What? I typed. They cited uncertainty. I nodded. Correction, I whispered. I opened a document and reread the leak. No opinions. No adjectives. Just truth. I remembered the night in the penthouse. The alarms. The promise. My chest tightened briefly. Focus, I said. A notification flashed. Emergency meeting scheduled. I didn't attend. I listened instead. They're scrambling, a voice said on a stream. Who released it? Another asked. No idea, the first said. Inside job? The second asked. Could be, the first said. I closed it. The source messaged again. They want me to sign something. What kind? I typed. A reassurance statement. I stared at the screen. Do not sign, I typed. If I don't? The source asked. They'll show you who they are, I typed. Dots blinked. I'm scared, the source wrote. I closed my eyes. So am I whispered. I typed carefully. Fear is information. Use it. Minutes passed. No reply. I checked the news again. A small banner ran at the bottom. Questions raised over reporting consistency. That was it. Small. Enough. I felt something loosen in my chest. Not joy. Relief. I poured water into a glass and drank slowly. My hands didn't shake. Another call came in. You crossed a line, a man said. Which one? I asked. The unspoken one, he said. There are many, I said. You're playing with reputations, he said. I'm playing with facts, I said. He scoffed. You think that matters? It always does, I said. Eventually. You want a deal? He asked. I laughed softly. No. The call ended. I sat down again. I wrote one sentence in my notebook. Silence amplifies truth. A notification flashed from the source. They backed off. I smiled faintly. Good, I said. Another message followed. For now. I leaned back and stared at the ceiling. This is only the start, I said. My phone buzzed with a familiar name. I didn't answer. A voicemail appeared. I know this looks bad, his voice said. But it's nothing. I deleted it. Another message arrived. We should talk. I typed nothing. I watched a clip from a late-night panel. He's confident, a host said. Too confident, another replied. The audience laughed nervously. I closed the video. I felt calm settle deeper. This wasn't revenge. This was alignment. The world didn't tilt. It adjusted. I stood by the window and watched people move below. They didn't know. That was the point. My phone buzzed one last time. A message from the source. They're asking who helped me before. My pulse quickened. What did you say? I typed. I said I was alone. I exhaled. Good, I typed. Pause. But they don't believe me. I stared at the city lights. Here it comes, I whispered. I typed slowly. They will. Oh. The source asked. I closed my eyes. I saw the cracks, the marks, the timing. I typed the final message of the night. Because the truth doesn't need witnesses. It leaves shadows. I shut the phone off. The room was quiet again. I felt the shift. Small. Precise. Enough to be felt. Not enough to be seen. Yet. And somewhere in a room full of confident voices, someone finally stopped smiling. We met in a place neither of us should have been lingering. A private conference lounge. Glass walls. Soft lighting. Fake calm. I was there early. I always was. I stood near the window, coffee untouched, watching people move like pieces on a board. Excuse me, a voice said behind me. I turned. Recognition landed before shock. His eyes widened. Just for a second. Then control snapped back into place. You, he said. Me, I said. Silence rushed in. You look, well, he said. I am, I said. He nodded too quickly. I didn't expect to see you here, he said. I could say the same, I said. He glanced around then back at me. Can we talk, he asked. I tilted my head. We are. His jaw tightened. I meant privately, he said. I gestured around us. This is public enough. He exhaled slowly. I heard you left, he said. I did, I said. Completely, he added. That's what happens when doors close, I said. He looked at my hands. No ring. No badge. No trace. You disappeared, he said. People do that, I said. He swallowed. I never meant, he started. I raised my hand. No, I said. He stopped. The silence pressed in again. I'm glad you're doing okay, he said. I met his eyes. I'm glad you think so. His gaze flickered. That situation, he said carefully. It got complicated. It always does, I said. He shifted his weight. I was under pressure, he said. I know, I said. That surprised him. You do? He asked. Yes, I said. Pressure reveals. His mouth opened. Closed. I owe you, he said. I smiled politely. No. He frowned. No. No, I said. You owed me. Past tense. The words landed clean. A man across the room laughed loudly. The sound broke the moment. He glanced at the noise then back at me. You've changed, he said. So have you, I said. He forced a smile. Success does that. Fear does too, I said. His smile faltered. I didn't come here to fight, he said. Neither did I said. Another pause. You look confident, he said. I'm comfortable, I said. He nodded slowly. I wish we'd handled things differently, he said. I don't, I said. That one hurt him. I saw it. He tried to hide it. You don't, he asked. No, I said. This way was honest. He studied my face like he was searching for anger. He didn't find it. That leak, he said suddenly. I didn't react. You saw it, he asked. Everyone did, I said. It caused some noise, he said. Truth does, I said. His eyes sharpened. You think it was truth, he asked. I think it was accurate, I said. He laughed softly. You always were precise, he said. I shrugged. Careful, he said. Precision makes enemies. I already have them, I said. His phone buzzed. He ignored it. I could use your help, he said quietly. I stared at him. I'm serious, he added. Things are unstable. I looked at the coffee again. Still untouched. You already did, I said. His brow creased. You already used my help, I continued. And you survived. That's not fair, he said. Neither was what you did, I said. The words stayed calm. That unsettled him more than anger ever would. I didn't throw you under, he said. You stepped aside, I said. Same result. He flinched. I was trying to save everything, he said. You chose what to save, I said. Silence stretched again. People moved around us. Conversations rose and fell. We stayed still. I regret it, he said. I believed him. That didn't change anything. I hope so, I said. That's it, he asked. Yes, I said. I checked my watch. I have to go, I said. Wait, he said. I paused. He lowered his voice. They're circling, he said. Someone's watching. I met his eyes. I know, I said. His face tightened. Are you involved? He asked. No, I said. He searched my face again. Then why do I feel like this isn't over? He asked. I smiled gently. Because it isn't, I said. I stepped past him. Take care, I added. I walked away without looking back. My heart stayed steady. That mattered. Outside the air felt sharper. I exhaled slowly. That went well, I said to no one. My phone buzzed as I crossed the street. I didn't check it. I walked 3 more blocks before stopping. Then I looked. A message. From him. I need your help. I read it once. Then again. My thumb hovered. The city moved around me. Cars. Voices. Life. Another message came in. Please. I locked the screen. I walked home. Inside my apartment, the silence welcomed me. I set my bag down. I sat at the desk. I opened my notebook. I wrote one word. Choice. I stared at it. My phone buzzed again. I didn't look. I remembered his face. The flicker of guilt. The fear he couldn't hide. I leaned back. Regret needs space, I said. I powered the phone off. I waited. Minutes passed. Then hours. The night deepened. I felt steady. Centered. Unmoved. The power had shifted. Not loudly. Not publicly. But completely. For the first time since everything broke, I knew something for certain. The fear wasn't mine anymore. And somewhere in a quiet room filled with screens, someone waited for an answer that didn't come. The first alert came before sunrise. I was awake anyway. Did you see this? The message buzzed again. Markets are reacting. Another pause. This is getting serious. I didn't answer. I scrolled. Numbers dipped. Statements contradicted each other. Screenshots spread faster than denials. No name. No source. Just truth standing naked in public. My phone rang. I let it ring. It rang again. I muted it. An hour later, the message arrived. Different tone. Shorter words. Can we talk? I stared at the screen. I felt nothing spike. No rush. No fear. Only control. About what? I typed. The reply came slower. About fixing this. I smiled once. Just once. Meet me, I wrote. My place. No. You follow my rules. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Returned. Okay. I closed the phone. I poured coffee. My hands stayed steady. At noon sharp, the knock came. Soft. Careful. I opened the door halfway. You look well, the voice said. So do you, I replied. Silence stretched. I stepped aside. I didn't offer water. I didn't expect it to go this far, the voice said. You expected nothing to leak, I said. Aside. Long. We need your help. I leaned against the table. Sit. The chair scraped. Nervous sound. This situation is spiraling, the voice said. Investors are pulling back. They're thinking, I said. That's new. Pause. Then quieter. We know it's you. I nodded. I didn't deny it. We need you to stop. I laughed. Not loud. Not kind. I don't stop truth, I said. I release it. A hand rubbed a forehead. We can make this right. You already tried that once, I said. It didn't include me. Another pause. Heavier now. What do you want? The voice asked. I reached into my bag. I placed the contract on the table. Read. Pages flipped. Fast at first. Then slower. This gives you credit, the voice said. Full credit, I said. And transparency, the voice added. Permanent, I said. And repair, the voice whispered. Public, I said. The pages stopped moving. You're asking for everything. I leaned forward. I'm asking for truth. Silence filled the room. It pressed hard. You could destroy us, the voice said. I shook my head. No. You did that already. A breath hitched. Regret showed. Late but real. We ignored you, the voice said. Yes, I said. We took your work, the voice continued. Yes. We erased you. I didn't answer. I'm sorry, the voice said. The words landed. Heavy. Imperfect. I didn't soften. I didn't harden. Sorry doesn't fix damage, I said. Action does. A hand trembled near the pen. If I sign this, the voice said, you stop releasing. I pause, I corrected. Truth still comes out. The pen hovered. And if we refuse? I stood. I picked up my bag. Then the next file drops tonight. The pen touched paper. Ink moved. Slow. Careful. When the last page was signed, I slid the contract back. This doesn't make us even, I said. I know, the voice replied. I opened the door. I'll call my team, the voice said. I'll watch, I replied. At the door, the voice stopped. You're different now. I met the eyes. I always was. You just didn't listen. The door closed. I exhaled. That night, headlines shifted. Statements changed tone. Admissions appeared. My phone buzzed again. Thank you. I didn't reply. Another message followed. Can you forgive me? I stared at the screen. The contract lay beside me. Signed. Real. Forgiveness sat heavier than revenge. I turned the phone face down. Outside, the city hummed. Inside, the final choice waited. I knew one thing clearly. Power had already changed hands. The lights were brighter than I expected. Too clean. Too honest. I stood behind the curtain and listened to the room breathe. Whispers. Shifting chairs. A nervous laugh that didn't belong anywhere. You ready? Someone asked. I nodded. I'm ready. The host cleared his throat on stage. Thank you all for being here today. Applause followed. Polite. Uncertain. This event was planned weeks ago, he continued, but today's discussion has changed. I stepped forward when my name was called. Not rushed. Not delayed. The room reacted before words did. Gasp. Recognition. A ripple of memory moving through faces. I took my place at the center table. I sat straight. My hands rested open. We're going to address recent findings, the host said, and give credit where it's due. A screen lit up behind me. Documents. Timelines. Receipts. No commentary. Just facts. A voice from the panel spoke. These materials were independently verified. Another voice followed. They traced back years. I stayed quiet. A former partner leaned toward the microphone. We owe an explanation. The word "oh" echoed. I want to start by saying, he said, that I was wrong. The room leaned in. I dismissed her, he continued. I benefited from work that wasn't mine. Pause. Then quieter. I'm sorry. The apology landed. Public. Unavoidable. I didn't react. Another voice joined. I supported decisions I shouldn't have. Eyes shifted toward me. I kept my gaze steady. We failed her, someone else said. Repeatedly. The host glanced at me. Would you like to respond? I shook my head. Let them finish. The room stilled. One by one they spoke. No rehearsed speeches. No defenses left. I listened. I absorbed. I didn't interrupt. A question rose from the audience. Why now? The answer came without me. Because the truth was documented. Another question followed. How long did this go on? Too long, someone said. My name appeared on the screen. Clean. Clear. Restored. The host turned again. Do you have anything to add? I stood. I didn't come here for apologies, I said. I came for accuracy. Silence. My work speaks for itself, I continued. It always did. The camera zoomed in. I didn't flinch. I'm not angry, I said. I'm finished being invisible. The room shifted. Something settled. A panel member swallowed. We should have listened. Yes, I said. You should have. No attack. No satisfaction. The host thanked everyone. Applause followed again. Different now. As people stood, I stayed seated. I watched faces process reality. Someone approached after. Quiet. Shaken. You handled that with grace, they said. I nodded once. Grace wasn't the goal. Outside, the air felt lighter. Not triumphant. Released. My phone buzzed. Messages stacked. Praise. Support. I silenced it. Justice hadn't needed my anger. It needed my patience. I walked away knowing one thing. This chapter was closed. He asked to meet without conditions. No lawyers. No assistants. No audience waiting to react. Just 10 minutes, the message said. I owe you that. I agreed because I no longer feared him. Not his voice. Not his regret. Not my past. We met in a quiet office with the blinds half closed. Late afternoon light cut the room into soft lines. The city hummed far below, indifferent. He stood when I entered. Nervous. Smaller than I remembered. "Thank you for coming," he said. "Saturday, I didn't come for gratitude." He swallowed. "I know." Silence stretched. Uncomfortable for him. Peaceful for me. "I've rehearsed this," he said. "I won't pretend otherwise." I nodded. "Then don't perform." That stopped him. He exhaled slowly. "I used you," he said. "I knew exactly what I was doing." The words landed clean. No excuses attached. "I told myself it was temporary," he continued. "That I'd fix it later." I said nothing. "Later never came," he said. "And then it was easier to let you disappear." The truth filled the room. Heavy. Undeniable. "I watched your name get dragged," he said. "And I let it happen." My hand stayed still. "I told myself you'd bounce back," he said. "You were talented. Strong." I looked at him. "You told yourself lies." He nodded. "Yes." His voice cracked. "I didn't expect you to survive it." I didn't correct him. "I expected you to fade," he admitted. "And when you didn't, I panicked." I leaned back. "Fear makes people honest." He winced. "I lost sleep," he said. "I lost respect." He laughed once, bitter. "I lost control." I waited. "I thought if I apologized publicly it would fix something," he said. "It didn't." "No," I said. "It fixed your image." He looked down. "This," he said quietly, "isn't about my image." I tilted my head. "Then what is it about?" He met my eyes. "It's about carrying this forever if I don't say it." I didn't stop him. "I'm ashamed," he said. "Not because I was caught." Pause. "But because I knew better." The silence that followed was thick. Not tense. Settled. "I don't expect forgiveness," he said. "I don't deserve it." I finally spoke. "You're right." His shoulders sagged. "I didn't come to punish you," I continued. "I came to end this." He nodded slowly. "I understand." "I don't need apologies to heal," I said. "I needed truth." "You have it," he said. "Yes," I replied. "And you no longer have access to me." He flinched. As if that hurt more than blame. "I won't ask for anything," he said. "Not even contact." "Good," I said. He hesitated. "There's one thing I need to know." I waited. "Do you hate me?" The question trembled. I considered it honestly. Then answered. "No." Relief flickered across his face. "I don't hate you," I said. "I don't carry you at all." That broke him. He covered his face. Just for a moment. "I'll live with that," he said. "You will," I replied. I stood. The meeting was over. "I hope you find peace," he said. I paused at the door. I already did. Outside the air felt neutral. Not victorious. Not heavy. I walked without looking back. Regret stayed behind. Silence came with me. The first offer arrived before the noise faded. "Exclusive interview," the message said. "Prime slot. Full control." I stared at the screen. Another followed. Then another. "Book deal." "Speaking tour." "Lead architect role." My phone would not rest. "You deserve this," one message said. "Take it," another urged. "Don't waste the moment." I turned the phone face down. The room felt quiet. Safe. I met with one advisor in a glass cafe downtown. "This is your peak," she said. "You can shape the narrative." "I don't want a narrative," I said. She blinked. "You want impact." "I want peace," I replied. She leaned forward. "Peace doesn't pay." I smiled. It already did. I walked out before she could answer. Later that week, a former investor called. "We can build fast," he said. "Big launch. Big headlines." I shook my head even though he couldn't see me. "I won't build loud." Silence followed. "You're leaving money on the table?" he said. "I'm choosing the table," I answered. He laughed, confused. Then hung up. A message came from a young developer. "I saw what you did," she wrote. "I'm scared. Can you look at my work?" I answered immediately. "Yes," I typed. "Send it." We spoke late into the night. "They took credit," she said. "I don't know what to do." I listened. "Breathe," I told her. "You're not weak." She cried softly through the line. "I thought I was alone," she said. "You're not," I replied. When the call ended, I felt something settle. This was the work. I rented a small office with windows that opened. No logo on the door. No press release. A simple name. A simple promise. Fair credit. Clear rules. Quiet excellence. My first hire asked, "Are we staying anonymous?" "For now," I said. "Let the work speak." Another asked, "What if we go viral?" "We won't chase it," I replied. "Isn't that risky?" "So is fame," I said. They nodded. I received an invitation to a televised panel. "You changed the industry," the host said. "People want to hear your story." "I lived it," I answered. "I don't need to repeat it." Pause. "Are you afraid of disappearing again?" she asked. I smiled. "No." She waited. "I know where I am now," I said. "That's enough." I hung up gently. Weeks passed. Work filled my days. Not chaos. Not hunger. Purpose. I reviewed contracts carefully. "Why so slow?" one partner asked. "Because speed hides traps," I said. Trust came later. Carefully. A former friend reached out. "I believed the lies," she said. "I'm sorry." I breathed in. "I know," I replied. "Take care." That was all. Another message followed. "Can we meet?" I typed back. "Not now." I felt no guilt. One evening, I stood by my window as the city dimmed. The same skyline. A different weight. My phone buzzed again. A final offer. The biggest yet. "Name your price," it said. I stared at the words. Then deleted the message. I opened my laptop and wrote instead. A guide. Clear. Free. How to protect your work, the title read. No signature. No brand. Just truth. A team member looked up from her desk. "Why give it away?" she asked. "Because I remember needing it," I said. She smiled. "I'm glad you're here." "So am I," I replied. That night I slept deeply. No alerts. No fear. In the morning I walked into my office. Sunlight filled the room. I had nothing to prove. I had chosen my ending. And for the first time it was mine. "Do you ever miss it?" she asked. I looked up from the table. "Miss what?" "The old days," she said. "The chaos." I smiled softly. "No." She waited. "I remember them," I said. "But I don't miss them." We sat in a quiet corner cafe. No cameras. No expectations. She stirred her cup. "You were famous for a moment." "I was visible," I corrected. "Not famous." "What's the difference?" "Fame wants you," I said. "Visibility lets you leave." She laughed quietly. "That's very you." I leaned back. I watched people pass outside. Normal lives. Ordinary moments. "I used to rush everywhere," I said. Pizza bag on my shoulder. Phone buzzing. She smiled. "I remember that story." "I remember the weight," I said. "Not the bag. The fear." She grew quiet. "I thought delivering food was the smallest part of my life," I continued. "It wasn't." "How so?" she asked. "It taught me timing," I said. "And patience. And humility." She nodded. "I walked into a storm I didn't cause," I said. "And I walked out someone else." "You didn't walk out," she said. "You rebuilt." I considered that. Yes. A pause settled. "Do you feel like you won?" she asked. I shook my head. "I don't think in wins anymore." "What do you think in?" "Balance," I said. "Choice." She smiled. "That's a better ending." I didn't answer right away. After she left, I stayed behind. The cafe door chimed softly. I watched steam rise from my cup. I remembered the night rain soaked my jacket. The smell of cardboard. The flickering screens. I remembered fear. But it felt distant. Like a story I once read. My phone buzzed. A message from a new hire. "I fixed the bug," she wrote. "Thank you for trusting me." I typed back. "You did the work. Be proud." 3 dots appeared. "I am," she replied. For the first time. I smiled. Later that evening, I walked home slowly. The streetlights hummed. I passed a pizza place. A delivery driver rushed out. She nearly collided with me. "Sorry," she said, breathless. "It's okay," I replied. She adjusted the bag on her shoulder. "Long night." "They all are," I said gently. She hesitated. "Can I ask you something weird?" "Sure." "How do you know when you're not small anymore?" The question stopped me. I thought carefully. "When you stop shrinking for other people," I said. "When your voice doesn't shake in empty rooms." She nodded slowly. "Good luck," I added. She smiled and ran off. I continued walking. At home I opened a drawer. Inside lay an old delivery receipt. folded, faded. I held it between my fingers. A reminder, not of pain, of distance traveled. I placed it back and closed the drawer. I stood by the window. The city stretched wide. Not intimidating, just alive. I spoke aloud, softly. I survived. The words felt real. I didn't need applause. I didn't need proof. I had lived through betrayal, collapse, silence. I had rebuilt without permission. I had corrected without cruelty. I had chosen peace without apology. I delivered more than food that night. I delivered truth, balance, myself, and I did it my way. The light outside flickered once, then steadied. So did I.